My two wonderful councilwomen join me on stage, Teresa Griffin and Johanna Bishop. Bring your water if you want, just in case. You good? Okay. So this is going to be an informal discussion, a couple of questions that came to mind. I'm going to ask that as you're sitting there, you think of one or two questions, and then we'll have Bill run around with the microphone, and you guys will get to ask a question or two as well. Thank you guys for being here. Are we ready? All right, great. So let me start off with the first question that I have here. As a citizen not holding an elected position, how has your view changed now that you are serving as an elected official? Please consider things like access to elected officials and then the decision-making process. When you're a layperson, like most of us are, we have opinions on how things should work. But when you become an elected official, does that change? Who wants it first? It's on you, Ms. Griffin.
Good morning to everyone. I'm glad to see you all here this morning. I would say somewhat it changes because when you're brand new, your ideas are probably all over the place. But once you actually come into the process or the realization that I'm out here and I'm asking people for their vote to represent them, with them not really knowing you, so they're going off of what you're saying. So once you actually become, or if you actually win that seat, then they rely heavily on all that you said that you were going to do. But in reality, we still have to realize that we are surrounded by 6 other individuals that's on that board. And whatever that you are wanting, it depends on all 7. So I think sometimes when we're out here and we're saying what we want to represent, and our constituents forget that it's 7. So therefore you have to have 4. That means you got to have yourself and 3 other people to go along with what you want. But at the end of the day, everything that we do as a county council person is for the betterment for Greenwood, South Carolina as a whole.
Thank you. That's good. Thank you.
I don't even have to answer. I'm just playing. I just want to say thank you guys for coming. Thank you for inviting me. But as well, I want to introduce you to my uncle, James Cohen. He works for CPW. Very proud of him. I'm thankful that he came to support me today. And then my daughter, Monet Bishop, and then my son, Benjamin Bishop. I asked them to come to support me as well. One thing, and Teresa is right, and that's why for me, every time I run for anything, I don't promise anything, but that I'm gonna get in and do everything that I can to learn the position and to do my job. I am going, when people call me all the time, I'm accessible, I answer my phone, I get on, if you ask me to, I've had all kind of questions. So when people ask me for their help, I get on the phone and I find out whatever I can do to help. Sometimes I can't help. Sometimes I can't change the situation, but I can listen. I can make sure I relay it to the county manager and to anybody who can in the county, in the county departments that can actually do whatever it is. For an example, I've had people call me about flooding situations with all the rain that we had earlier this year. I've talked to the county manager, get with the county public works supervisor. Calling them back. A lot of times, some elected officials won't even answer your call. You don't even have their number. But for me, if I'm gonna do something, I wanna learn what's expected of me, and I want to do my best. I want to be accessible and see, like Dr. was saying, like she was saying, I agree with her 100%. Why are we sending people to take care of us, to make decisions for us, who do not care, who will not answer your phone call? You can't even, why? Why are we doing that? We need to get up and we need to volunteer to run and do the work. Because, I mean, I'm just a worker. I just believe in working. So I can keep talking too, but I've learned a lot because I started at the school board level. And board work, you're right, Teresa, board work requires that you understand that just because Johanna is talking, she's not talking for the board. This is Johanna talking. Now, when the board is together, then the board decides whatever. And it's important to make sure that you have the right people who actually, everybody needs to care about whatever organization they're working for, everybody. If they don't care, then you are doing yourself a disjustice by electing them. So, I mean, to me, it's a lot of people that need to be removed in places, but they can't be removed if we don't have people stand up and be willing to be elected. So I'm done for now.
Listen, I did everything I could to not say anything while you were talking because I almost came out of this chair, but I didn't want to scare anyone. I so agree with what both of you said, so I'm gonna recap real quick, layman's terms. When you are elected, you join other elected officials to work on a similar topic. So you may have a stance that you were adamant about going into it. But if the others, if we say we need 4 to get this to pass, and we don't have 4, that does not mean I have failed as an elected official. That's not what that means. That means I'm still going to stand true and continue to push and work to get that passed. And I think we need to make sure we relay that message to those that are not interested or not closely related to the political realm. Because when you are elected, there are things that you want, but there may be times that you can't push that out in your first term or your second term. So I like that.